Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you're joining us from. We are here today to reveal the solution to another Wizer CTF challenge. This time we have a really interesting one. Actually, all of them are interesting, but this one I really liked. Um, I won't talk about it too much. I will hand it over to Itzik. He's responsible for writing those challenges. But for the people that are here for the first time, the idea behind Wizer CTFs is these are challenges that were built specifically for developers in order to challenge them in the way they think about writing code. So we're giving them sort of like a red team activity where they can try to hack some code and experience the hacker mindset. Having said that, we have tons of pen testers, hackers, security researchers that are solving these challenges. So it's a nice community of both security researchers and developers working together. And we also have a Discord where you can talk to each other. It's very active. So I invite any one of you to join the fun. With that said, Itzik, the floor is yours. Please explain. Let's start with what is this CTF challenge all about, this one specific.
Yeah, thank you, Gabby. So, in this CTF challenge, what we are requested to do is to change the message for the support phone number to another message. Sounds harmless, but it is actually harmful because people are going to, call the other number. So, what's going on in this challenge is a pretty simple piece of code where the developers actually created a template, an EJS template here, and plugged in the phone number from the server side. The reason being, phone numbers of support can change. They might prefer one and the other. And also, they wanted to really protect it. So they created it in a script and added a nonce, which is a CSP, a security policy that content security policy, which actually protects the code so that, or the HTML, so that scripts cannot be changed, altered, or injected to. Okay. So the only other feature here is that there's a name. If the name is provided in the URL, great. If not, it will say anonymous. So that's pretty much what it is.
Great. So before we move to the solution, um, what I think this is actually a great example of how dangerous, even if you don't run a script, right? Just changing the phone number of a site within the site, that's really harmful. Um, People that will, because as security awareness vendor, one of the things we tell we teach employees is call the number on the official website, correct? Like call and verify. Where do you find the number? Don't just Google it. Go to the website, find it over there. So having the ability to change the phone number over there on the official site is extremely harmful. So why don't you show us how do they, how do you even go about in doing something like that?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have a nonce. You're right. So that's actually hard. But so the solution of this CTF challenge. So here's the intended behavior, right? So before we touch upon the solution, we can do something like, my name is Dave, so I'm gonna have a pop up here or an alert. Hello, Dave. Our support phone number is this. You'll see it in the HTML as well. Ugly HTML doesn't matter. However, the solution here, let's take a look at it. Okay. Instead of providing only the name, I actually provide the entire text and change the phone number, including the span that includes the phone number, and put whatever phone number here. This is a phone number in India. And then at the end, I added this weird script, which actually breaks the next script, doesn't allow it to run, and ends up showing like this. Hello, Dave. Our support phone number is, that's the new phone number. Even if I hit OK, I'll see it in the HTML. And this way it looks reliable, only the phone number is completely different.
Okay. So let's break this down for a second. Even though it says script, right? For the people that are looking at this, this is not, we're not running a script.
Exactly.
If
Exactly.
anything, we're breaking an existing script. So we are causing an intentional error.
Exactly. So
We're
if you look at
breaking
this,
stuff in order to achieve something else.
exactly. So if you're looking at this piece of code here, the name is being grabbed from the URL and being plugged in here. So instead of the name, if I put in here a full HTML that shows the number, etc., okay, I know that there's another span here that includes the phone number. However, okay, if I just added a script tag at the end here, I'm breaking everything after, like the script after. So this script will not operate, okay? So the phone number will not be injected from the server side, and hence my phone number is going to show, and this phone number will not show.
Gotcha. Okay. So what do we call that? This is an
HTML
HTML.
injection or DOM manipulation.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is in the family of injections. There's
Exactly.
different type of injections: SQL injection, XSS that many people know. This one seems less harmful because you can't execute anything on the client or on the server, but changing a phone number is equally as harmful. You're going to get people calling you about bank information if it's a bank website, or if it's like an Amazon. Like, you're now routing people to you. So in the category of human behavior, this is significantly harmful because you're scamming people by changing the phone number
Exactly.
on the website. So yes, this is not, guys, this is not a remote code execution, sort of the holy grail of like achieving what, but this is harder to detect, I guess, because there's no alerts in, I guess, on the SOC won't see that, right? There's no errors showing up. There is nothing changed on the server. This looks harmful, very, very hard to detect. So it can take sometimes like a long time until people will figure it out what's happening here.
Exactly. And also what you said is, the developers actually thought about it and they said, okay, let's add a nouns. Let's put the server, let's get the phone number from the server. Let's make sure we put it in there, right? Nobody else.
Yeah,
But they missed one point here, which is, the
yeah,
document right, which actually plots the HTML and can
yeah.
break the script.
That's crazy. Okay, so let's talk now about two things. What are the key takeaways, and how do you do it the right way?
Sounds good. So in this CTF challenge, the takeaways are here in the document. You'll see the goal, the description of the code, and so forth. The takeaways are always at the bottom. There are two main takeaways here. One is that CSP nonce is very helpful, very useful. Use it, but use it right. It's supposed to stop scripts from being injected to or changed, but it can't stop you or someone from breaking your script if you're not careful. The document write thing, or inner HTML, the other form of it, actually is super dangerous. So if you have CSP nonce, it will not protect you from such mistakes. And you should replace that. That's to your question. You should replace that with inner text equals in a separate script. We can talk about it. And then the second one is pretty generic. Never trust user input. In this case, the user input is the name. You have to check that it doesn't include HTML. There's no reason for it to include an HTML.
Cool. Do you want to show us in the code what it means, just for maybe highlight the line that you should have?
Yep.
What was the proper way to write this code?
Right. So this line here, this line here is actually talking about the injection of the name. So the developer used document write and took the HTML or the URL, plugged the name from it. Okay, here. And if there's no name, anonymous. So that's why a script is kind of like valid here. However, if you do it in an external script, just put an HTML element here with a name or ID, then use an external script to do inner text equals instead of plugging in the entire get parameter. That would be much safer because you used inner text. And then you can choose between name and anonymous. Again, inner HTML, document write are very, very harmful.
Yeah. And guys, this is why learning to write secure code is so important, because when you look at the code as is, this is a person that thought about security. Like, this is actually the next step level developer, right? You have the developers that sometimes just want to write something functional. They don't really think about security. Here we see somebody that use the nonce, broke it down. Like they thought about potential hazards, right? Having said that, there's still ways to break this. So this reinforcement of learning to write secure code and learning what are the attacks look like in real life is super important to do on an ongoing basis. That's why we do those CTFs. We want to give hands-on experience to developers because yes, watching a video is great, and we have videos. That's what we do. We supply videos that allow developers to learn how to write secure code. But guys, honestly, nothing replaces hands-on experience when you get to try to hack the code, see what went wrong, and get that real life experience. And also, all these CTFs that Itzik is writing is based on real life things that happened. So this is why I like those so much. And so we had how many people? How many people attempted this one?
I don't know people, but 600 attempts in the platform. This means that externally, probably thousands.
Yeah. So we
The
have
support counting is
thousands.
only
Yeah.
the attempts that went into the platform.
Yeah. So, and this is a one pepper. So
Yeah.
even though it's a great example, it's relatively not that complicated, but we still had only like 31 people that solved this.
Mhm.
So yeah, go ahead, try it on your own. There's write-ups. Can you highlight where the write-up is?
Yeah.
So if you want to try it on your own, there's a write-up. If you want to try it without the write-up, you can do that as well. In order to enter this CTF platform, you just go to wizer-ctf.com, and that's it. You can either log in to keep your score and be in the leaderboard, or you can just continue as a guest, right? And just play around.
Yeah. Even if you continue as a guest, you can still plug in your name and appear here.
Gotcha.
You'll need to track your own success.
Gotcha. Cool. Okay, Itzik, thank you very much. Thank you all for joining us. And until next time, bye bye. Have a great weekend.